Welcome back to the news at 10. Controversy continues to trail the planned reversal of the upgraded status of 4 colleges of education in the country to universities. This has sprung up students' protests in Alvan, Ikoku College of Education, Owerri, the Imo State capital, southeast Nigeria. The protesters are calling on President Muhammadu Buhari not to reverse the status of the institution, which is upgraded to a university by the Goodluck Jonathan administration.
The main entrance of the institution is under lock and key, following a protest by youths in the state and students of the Alvan Ikoku institution against the federal government's decision to reverse the upgraded status of the school to a college of education. With different inscriptions on their placards, the protesters gave reasons why the status of the institution must not be reversed.
This time around that we want to come out from the land of Egypt to our promised land. I don't know what is happening, what is really happening, because when you graduate, you will spend 1 year at home. Okay, other schools, they went to service, they shift people 3 times in a year, February, July and November. But here in Alvan, we only go to service once in a year, being on November, which is because we are affiliated to school.
We have the requisite infrastructure and human capital. We have the requisite manpower to train graduates in the field of education for Nigeria. We want to remind Mr. President that education will play a lot of role in his anti-corruption crusade. When you don't mold the mind towards decency, discipline and integrity, you will not have a suitable society.
Well, the situation on ground that has brought...
At a press conference on the same day, the Executive Secretary of the National Commission for Colleges Education, Mr. Joshua Monday, announces that all 4 colleges upgraded to university statuses have been reversed.
The federal government owns the institution. It was the federal government that converted it to a university before, and it is the same federal government that has converted it back to the college. All we have to do as staff of the college, as staff of the institution, is to obey Mr. President. Let it be mentioned in clear terms that the institution here in Owerri, as of this moment, is called Alvan Ikoku College of Education.
Alvan Ikoku College of Education, Owerri in Imo State, Adeyemi College of Education in Ondo, Federal College of Education, Kano, and the Federal College of Education, Zaria in Kaduna States were all degree-awarding colleges of education affiliated to some universities in the country, but were upgraded to the status of University of Education in the twilight of the Goodluck Jonathan administration.
The Akwa Ibom State Elections Petitions Tribunal sitting in Abuja has been presented with what's said to be a video analysis of multiple voting in the state governorship election. The video clips were presented to the tribunal by the forensic expert engaged by the All Progressives Congress and its governorship candidate Umana Okonumana. Chairman of the tribunal, Justice Sadiq Umar, however, did not allow oral evidence from the forensic expert on the ground that the APC and its candidate did not apply for that. Mr. Umana today closed his case at the tribunal, having called a total of 52 witnesses.
At its proceedings on Monday, the Akwa Ibom State Election Petition Tribunal, hearing petition on the April 14 governorship election, invited the Independent National Electoral Commission to move the election materials used for the polls to Abuja for inspection by the tribunal. Materials comprising ballot papers, voter registers and result sheets were brought in bags to the court to be taken into custody by the tribunal. This was before the tribunal, led by Justice Sadiq Umar, gave a ruling allowing the petitioner, the All Progressives Congress, and its candidate Umana Okonumana leave to present video clips of the forensic examinations carried out on the election materials, saying they were pleaded in the petition and in their statement on oath. The forensic expert who presented the video clips was not allowed to give oral evidence on the clips, but told the tribunal under cross-examination that his team used alternative technological means to detect the multiple voting, as INEC did not allow them access to its database. A point cancelled to the petitioner said gives them good advantage.
For us, it's a major milestone today that we have closed our case. We've brought in virtually all the documents, sensitive and insensitive materials, for the world to see, and for the court particularly to see where the justice lies after examination of all the documents and the evidence we have led, and after hearing the defense.
Attempts to stop the video presentation by lawyers to Governor Emmanuel Udom and the People's Democratic Party was dismissed by Justice Umar on grounds that the video will not in any way raise new issues outside the petition or prejudice the defendants in the petition. And following the cross-examination of the witness, the defense counsel said they have a better standing in the case.
It's a case that we are convinced we're going to win.
We are confident that we are in a very good stead. We've reviewed all the evidence that have been called so far, and we feel happy that we remain where we are.
The court adjourned the case to the 2nd of September, when the Independent National Electoral Commission will be allowed to open its arguments. Omelogo, Nadi Channels Television News.
The Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi II, and the Chairman, Chief Executive of Dangote Group PLC, Aliko Dangote, were special guests of President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential villa. They came into the villa around 1 o'clock and joined the President for the Friday Jumat prayers before they retired into the President's office for a meeting that held for about an hour. Also present at the meeting were the Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, and the Chief of Staff to the President, Alhaji Abba Kyari. Details of the meeting were not made known to pressmen, but it's believed that Aliko Dangote may have brought some investors as he was in a meeting with the Chairman of Blackstone Organization. Welcome to Business News. The Nigerian Stock Exchange has attained the International Standards Organization certification for ITS information security systems. The ISO 27001-2013 certification, which was confirmed by delegates of the British Standard Institute, is the first to be awarded to an exchange in Africa. Speaking on the achievement, the exchange's Executive Director for Markets and Technology, Adeolu Bajomo, says the milestone will improve the confidence of investors in the information security of the bourse.
But technology comes with a set of risks. Part of those risks is how you manage your information management systems as a wearable. And it's been demonstrated over and over again that if you have lax controls in the management of your information management systems, then you not only put your business at risk, you put your customers and your wider ecosystem at risk. And exchange is information driven. And we feel that having this certification done by an external body not only validates what the exchange is doing, but shows the intent of the leadership of the exchange to continue to operate in line with the highest standards that is comparable and measured on a global basis as well. So we really think that they should give investors in the market, be it domestic or international, confidence that the exchange will continue to operate and manage its systems and services in line with best standards.
Meanwhile, yields on Nigerian bonds are expected to climb next week on tight liquidity in the money market. Traders say weak economic output growth data of 2.35% released this week by the Statistics Office triggered sell-offs by some offshore investors and commercial lenders covering short Naira positions. Yields on the longest tenor, the 2034 bond, rose to 15.71% week on week from 15.50% last week. The benchmark 2024 paper rose by about 52 percentage points to 15.97% from 15.45%, while the 2022 debt was trading higher at 15.87% against 15.50%. And the Nigerian stock market witnessed bargain hunting today as gains were restored on the revamp in global equities market. Harriet Agbayi brings us details.
Welcome to the Stock Market Report. Renewed interest in some blue chips in the oil and gas, consumer and industrial goods sectors pushed the Nigerian equities market higher today, mirroring gains recorded in the global equities market. Now, despite the gain, market watchers advise caution in trading as prevailing risks remain in the economy. The all-share index climbed 2.10% to end the day's session at 28,814.62, just as the market capitalization gained to close at 9.90 trillion naira. Market breadth was much better today as 38 stocks appreciated, led by Forte Oil and Seplat Petroleum Development Company, adding 5% each to close at 249 naira 89 kobo and 244 naira 69 kobo respectively. Guinness Nigeria added 9.97% to close at 127 naira 1 kobo. 16 equities shared weight. Nestle tops the list, off by 9.75%, finishing at 828 naira 22 kobo. It's trailed by UACN and Flour Mills of Nigeria. Banking stocks UBA, Zenith Bank, Sky Bank were the most actively traded at today's session. 372.28 million shares were exchanged by investors for 4.26 billion naira in 4,310 deals. That's the Stock Market Report. I'm Harriet Agbayi.
Many thanks, Harriet. Well, at the all crude oil markets, prices edged higher today, bouncing back from 6.5-year lows on recovering equities markets and news of low crude supplies from Nigeria. Shell declared force majeure, Bonny Light exports, shutting down 2 of its key pipelines. The Trans-Niger pipeline and the Nembe Creek trunk line have been shut for repairs as well. Brent was up almost $2 to $49.38 per barrel. U.S. crude is also up almost 2% to $44.52 a barrel. Global oil markets have fallen by a third since May and are still well under half their value a year ago, thanks to a huge oversupply of fuel and sluggish demand. Worries over China's economy have compounded the falls in recent weeks. Well, let's take a look at the global equities market at this time. And that's our package on business news tonight. I'm Imana Amawe. Ijoma will be back with the rest of the news at 10.